G'day, it's your block rocker back for another review. Bacon 23 from Hugh Howey. This came out, boys, second season came out right not long after the first season, maybe 6 months. Very, very tight release. I think they filmed both seasons at the same time. So this is based on a book or a series of books by Hugh Howey, who also wrote the series that is responsible for the other show, Silo. I enjoy Silo quite a bit. I've not read any of the books. Now, Beacon 23, I was encouraged when I first saw it out because, again, I liked Silo. So I thought it'd be interesting. Let's see. It had, what's her last name? Lena Headey, who I like, Game of Thrones and Terminator TV show and a bunch of other stuff. So I dug in. I watched season one. It's one of those shows I kind of watch before I go to bed typically. And I was like, what happened here? Like, it just it bounces around without depth. Like nothing really gets well explained. And so season two going into it, I'm like, okay, they kind of they got a MacGuffin, this artifact, and it's sort of explained, but you don't really understand why people are doing anything that they're doing, and people kind of show up and disappear again. Season two hit. This is the most meandering, pointless show. Like there's no depth to it. The actors are all good, the sets look good, but the premise is these are sort of interstellar lighthouses. They literally have a circling light, which is two-dimensional, and you're working in three-dimensional space to warn you about dangerous patches of space where there's pockets of dark matter or what have you. So if a ship that is traveling faster than light speed, because they have faster than light travel, this 23rd century, sees that you've got a white light, then it means it's safe to continue on. If it's red, then there's a problem. What? Like, can't there? How are you going to see this in space traveling faster than light? Like, typically, if you're traveling faster than light, you're not in normal Einsteinian space, so you wouldn't, none of this stuff you're going to see it anyway. Wouldn't you have your own sensors? Like, it just simply, that part of it doesn't make any sense. Now I understand the books, they take kind of a different focus, and it's kind of on, this guy and surviving out there and the loneliest. Sounds kind of depressing, but this show is just all over the place. I remember maybe it was Outer Limits or something. Anyway, there was this show when I was a kid, and I'd never been able to find it again, where this guy wakes up and he's in this white room. And every time he turns around, somebody else has come in, and then they're able to leave, and he can never leave. And it's people that are talking to him. And it almost feels like that. Like people show up at this beacon and things happen. And then there's this weird AI thing. And then in this episode 5 of season 2, for some reason, they try to wedge the message in, if you know what I mean, the alphabet message. And it's between a new AI and a human, and the AI is sort of non-binary. It it's just it's not a good show. Like it's so meandering. There's such a lack of depth in the story, and most of the character development. Like there's an arch villain, I guess, now, and I barely understood what happened when he was in the show the last season because it was muddled in with a whole bunch of other head fakes. I I can't recommend this series. Like I say, I watch it like when I'm going to bed, so it's sort of a time killer when I wind down because nothing happens really. A couple times things happen. There's a lot of interesting bits, but they don't tie it together. They don't explain it. They don't bring it all into a cohesive story. So yeah, that's my frustration with it. I wouldn't recommend you spend your time on it. Okay, that's it for today.